Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, flooding, extreme heat, new details about the death of Hayden Panettiere. And Serena and Venus Williams, like I need to say their last names, back on the court together. Breaking overnight, severe storms and flooding fears with record-breaking rain in the Midwest and Southeast. Rain forcing schools in West Virginia to close and making roads impassable. This as 80 million are under heat alerts. Ginger is tracking it all.
President Trump lashes out, threatening to bomb a longtime American ally as the deadline to end the Iran war expires with no deal, and announcing that the U.S. will dial back military drills with South Korea, boasting about his relationship with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, whose nuclear arsenal could target the United States. Pivotal primaries, the key races happening now, including the battle of two Dan Sullivans in Alaska, and scandals grabbing the headlines in Florida with control of Congress at stake.
New details about the sudden death of Hayden Panettiere, what the autopsy revealed, and this morning, what her ex-fiancé and the father of her daughter Kaya is now saying, as friends and co-stars remember the actress who died at just 36 years old.
Alleged cocaine ring run out of fraternity houses. This morning, more than a dozen current and former Penn State students charged.
The trial sparking a national conversation about postpartum mental health. The Massachusetts mother who killed her 3 children. Now Lindsay Clancy's own mother takes the stand.
Masked man in Philly. Police releasing chilling surveillance video of a masked man they say has been terrorizing residents.
Landmark trial. Meta heads to federal court in a case that could reshape social media. 4 states argue Facebook and Instagram were designed to hook kids. Did Meta know the risks?
Summer beach alert. Fleets of stingrays crowding California waters. Their numbers soaring, putting swimmers in danger. How the stingray shuffle could keep you safe.
Venus and Serena together again on the court. But will we see them again at the U.S. Open? And a whole new meaning to higher love. The bride, groom, and their wedding party jumping 14,000 feet, making a stunning entrance. Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Tuesday. Good morning, America.
What was that? Good morning, America. What was that?
I said if I was in the wedding party, I'd be on the ground saying, I'll wait for you. I'll see you when you get here.
I'm with you on that one.
Right.
Oh, boy. But good morning, everybody. It is a busy morning. We've got a beach warning with this stunning sight, fleet of stingrays crowding waters. Sam Champion standing by with the details behind the surge and the sting alert.
Also, take a look at this right now. You see what's happening there. A swarm of mass robbers going to a deli in Los Angeles. This is part of a growing trend, and we're going to tell you about it.
But we're going to begin with that extreme weather impacting several parts of the country, including flash flooding in West Virginia, triple-digit temperatures hitting much of the South. Going to be mighty busy here, Ginger.
Yes, and thankfully the flash flood threat has moved away from Indiana and West Virginia, but those areas are still seeing rivers rise, and it will take months for them to get back from the devastation. Overnight, storms illuminating the skies from North Carolina back to West Virginia. Radar estimates up to 9 inches of rain swamping Ripley, West Virginia, forcing schools to close and making roads impassable. This child's playhouse broken apart and floating in a backyard. In Charleston on Sunday, roads still filled with water. Authorities told people to move to higher ground. Sunday was their wettest August day on record. Homes filled with mud after the rushing water left communities devastated.
But it's total destroyed.
The city of Carmel, Indiana, still reeling from flooding over the past week. Bridges destroyed and streets still underwater. Authorities warning that a major sewer line has a 90% chance of collapsing. Governor Mike Braun offering $5,000 emergency grants to people affected by the storms.
We're tracking your needs, and we will get you resources. We want displaced Hoosiers to have a hot meal, comfortable bed, and get into air conditioning.
Today's flash flood threat goes from Chicago and Kankakee down to St. Louis, back to Kansas City, Omaha, and Des Moines. So a pretty big area that could see 1 to 2 inch per hour rainfall rates. Separate from that, there's a damaging wind and hail threat, and that goes from Kearney, Nebraska, right through Salina and Topeka, Kansas. Kansas City is also included. So through the afternoon and evening, you'll end up with storms that could easily take out trees and power lines. Then we have to talk about the heat, because this is so serious and it's been ongoing in a place like Oklahoma City for over a week now. We've seen extreme heat warnings, 107 the feels like today, Little Rock 111. Look at Jacksonville, Florida also, Charleston, South Carolina 115. This ridge, it's way up there in the atmosphere, right? It acts like a top on a pot. It's holding the heat in, and that's not going to end. Savannah, look at that, still into the 100 feels like into the weekend, George.
Boy, that is a lot of triple digits. Okay, Ginger, thanks very much. Latest now on President Trump lashing out at America's allies as the ceasefire agreement with Iran expires, sending oil and gas prices higher. Chief Washington correspondent John Carl's here with the story. Good morning, John.
Good morning, George. Unable to put an end to the Iran war, President Trump is now threatening to expand it, issuing a blunt and profane warning to a U.S. ally in the region.
With oil prices climbing higher and talks with Iran going nowhere, President Trump threatened to, quote, bomb the expletive out of U.S. ally Oman if they get in the way of his goals in the Strait of Hormuz.
I don't think they behaved very well, but we'd handle them very easily, just like we do other things.
Oman and Iran are currently in talks about setting up a system of transit through the strait. One potential plan would allow both countries to charge a toll.
The war has reduced ship traffic in the strait to a standstill, rattling world markets and raising the price of gas. On average, Americans are paying over $4 a gallon, up over $1 since the war began. The president insists that the U.S. has full control over the strategic waterway. He even suggests he may soon declare it a U.S. territory. But his own energy secretary says disruptions to ship traffic remain.
We're in a conflict zone right now.
This comes as U.S. military officials are scrambling to respond to a Trump Truth Social post condemning long-planned joint exercises with South Korea. In the post, which blindsided military leaders, Trump cited his, quote, very good relationship with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un and called the drills inappropriate and hostile towards North Korea and said they would be substantially reduced. He also criticized South Korea for not joining the U.S.-led campaign against Iran.
How do you respond to folks who say that you are prioritizing the interests of adversaries in North Korea over our longtime partners by scaling back military exercises?
No, I'm making it much safer. You see, I'm actually making it much safer. Kim Jong-un has always treated me with great respect.
And this morning, Iran is saying yet again that the Strait of Hormuz will remain closed until the United States meets all of its conditions. Iran's parliamentary speaker saying the waterway will not be open until, look at this, George, frozen assets are released, the blockade is lifted, the oil embargo is lifted, threats and military operations cease, and other conditions.
Absolutely.
In other words,
stalemate
it's going to be closed.
Yeah. Meantime, you mentioned the president lashing out at South Korea. He's continuing this courtship of Kim Jong-un. He had this other post yesterday on Truth Social. Look at that right there. He says, hey, Donald, be cool. Right, that's the second post like that over a series of 3 days, despite the fact that North Korea has a nuclear arsenal that could threaten the U.S. and our allies.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he said that they've been in contact, unclear what that contact is, but it's worth remembering that Trump met with Kim Jong-un 3 times, including 2 summits, in terms of getting them to give up their nuclear weapons, a total failure. In fact, North Korea's nuclear arsenal is larger now than it has ever been, and they are suspected of helping the Iranians, not to mention the troops they're sending to fight in Ukraine for Vladimir Putin.
For Russia, right. John Carl, thanks very much. Michael?
All right. Thank you, George. Now to voters. They're going to the polls and primaries across the nation. Our Jay O'Brien is in Washington with details on the most closely watched races. Good morning, Jay.
Michael, good morning to you. Voters in 4 states going to the polls tonight, but all eyes on that critical Senate race in Alaska that could help decide who controls Congress. Democrats hoping former Congresswoman Mary Peltola can flip that seat blue. She's a moderate who recently rejected an endorsement from Vice President Kamala Harris. For Republicans, it's a tale of 2 Dan Sullivans. The state's sitting GOP Senator Dan S. Sullivan is facing a primary challenge from Dan J. Sullivan. Both could wind up on the ballot in November because of the way Alaska's primaries work. President Trump has blamed trickery, in his words, on the part of Democrats for that, but state Democrats and Dan J. Sullivan deny any connection. Michael.
And Jay, a big primary day in Florida as well.
That's right. From the frozen tundra in Alaska to the Sunshine State, where Florida Republican Congressman Corey Mills is facing multiple primary challengers in a district that Democrats are hoping to flip this November. Mills is under investigation by the Justice Department, sources tell ABC News, although it's unclear the exact nature of that investigation. The House Ethics Committee has also opened a probe for what it calls alleged, quote, sexual misconduct and or dating violence. Mills has denied any wrongdoing. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who's popular with state Republicans, saying plainly he doesn't support Mills. Also in Florida, 10 Republicans are vying to replace Congressman Byron Donalds, who's running for governor. On that ballot are 2 former congressmen who resigned in scandal, 3 candidates who previously ran for Congress in other states like Illinois and New York, and a pardoned January 6th rioter. Meantime, in California, there's a special election tonight to fill the seat of former Congressman Eric Swalwell, who resigned from Congress and ended his run for governor, remember, after accusations of sexual assault, which he denies. Michael.
All right, seems like an episode of Game of Thrones, Jay. Thank you very much. Robin?
All right, Michael, now to the cocaine trafficking case at Penn State. 14 people charged, most of them former or current students. 2 fraternities also allegedly involved. Matt Rivers here in the studio with the latest. Good morning to you, Matt.
Good morning, Robin. Of course, drugs like cocaine being sold on college campuses has happened for decades, but authorities say what makes all of this stand out is the size and the scale of this operation, just the latest in a string of controversies plaguing fraternities at the school. This morning, more than a dozen current and former Penn State University students arrested and charged, allegedly part of a cocaine ring based out of 2 off-campus frat houses.
There was nothing junior or childlike about this type of conduct. This was an upper-level trafficking organization for this region in Pennsylvania.
Officials say the group, led by former students Agostino Abatiello and Thomas Robinson, brought in kilos of cocaine at a time in 2023 and 2024, the pair making trips to Philadelphia and New York City to refill their supplies.
The evidence showed that cocaine was primarily packaged at the fraternity houses, and that packaging was done by fraternity brothers and oftentimes pledges.
Abatiello, Robinson, and 3 others facing federal corrupt organizations and conspiracy charges, among others. 8 others facing misdemeanor charges. The parent of 1 student charged for allegedly interfering with the investigation. Penn State immediately suspending Delta Upsilon fraternity, but saying Sigma Chi operates independent of the university. The university says it's cooperating with law enforcement, telling ABC News criminal activity, including hazing such as this, has no place at our institution. Now, no comment yet from any of the accused, nearly all of whom have already been arraigned. Penn State's fraternities have faced a string of controversies in the last several decades, including the deaths of multiple pledges during hazing incidents and sexual exploitation of female students. George.
Okay, Matt, thanks. We're turning now to the CDC, saying that the rate of vaccine exceptions for American kindergartens has reached a record high as kids go back to school. Rhiannon Alley here with the details. Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you guys. Yes, a record number of kindergartners are starting school by skipping routine vaccines. So doctors are now sounding the alarm, saying these vaccines help protect not just kids, but the entire community. New CDC data shows vaccine exemptions climbed to 4.2% during the 2025-2026 school year. That is up from 3.6% the year before, and nearly double the 2.2% from just 5 years ago. So why aren't kids getting vaccinated? Well, the data shows most exemptions are actually non-medical reasons, such as religious exemptions. And it comes as the country is dealing with a record-breaking year for measles cases in the last 35 years. The CDC says the percentage of kindergartners getting the MMR vaccine, which protects against measles, mumps, and rubella, slipped to 92.4%. And that is below the 95% experts say is needed to maintain that herd immunity. So, guys, while the overall numbers are declining slowly, health officials say that even small dips increase risk of outbreaks as highly contagious diseases like measles continue to spread.
Of course, this is going on as President Trump and RFK Jr. are questioning the efficacy of vaccines.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, Rhiannon, thank you. Going to go now to a frightening day on the runway. Multiple planes blowing tires at one major airport in less than a week. Sam Champion has more on these scary incidents. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Michael. And here's what we learned. It surprised me. Airline experts tell us that blowing tires during landing or takeoff is not uncommon. And the 2 most common reasons are heavy loads on those planes and the high speeds of them on runways.
This morning, 2 rough landings at Chicago's O'Hare Airport, raising safety concerns.
American 360 requiring assistance. I heard he just blown a tire.
An American Airlines flight arriving from New York blowing 2 tires after landing. Fire trucks rushing to the disabled plane.
No injuries, and no one's panicking.
Passengers, thankfully uninjured, bus to the terminal. Then, just 2 hours later, another scare. A United Airlines flight with over 120 passengers blew 2 of its tires on landing as well.
Just had another tire issue with an aircraft downfield.
The pilot immediately asking about the possibility of fire.
Do we see any kind of smoke or hotness or any indications there of a potential fire? Negative at this time.
Again, thankfully, no injuries reported.
What's interesting here is that we had, of course, 2 different flights on the same day at the same airport blowing tires. Blown tires are not that unusual, especially when you consider how many flight operations there are, but it certainly is startling.
These incidents come less than a week after a United jet was forced to abort takeoff, slamming on its brakes after 2 main landing gear tires blew out.
We saw lots of chunks of tire going down the runway.
Passengers here forced to deplane on the runway.
So you immediately think, is it the runway when you hear 2 together? The landings at Chicago O'Hare's airport were on different runways, and all 3 incidents are being investigated by the FAA.
I'm glad they're looking into it.
Yep.
Good to have you back, Sam.
Thank you.
Now, the new details we're learning in the death of actress Hayden Panettiere. And this morning, what her longtime partner and the father of her daughter is now saying. Trevor Ault joins us with the latest. Good morning to you, Trevor.
Good morning, Robin. We know so many people were stunned to learn of Hayden Panettiere's passing. We do have some new updates from law enforcement in the investigation into her death, as heartbroken fans and former co-stars want to know how she died, but they are also remembering how she lived.
This morning, we're learning new details in the shocking death of star actress Hayden Panettiere.
Cardiac arrest of Millwall, 701 Ainsley Ridge Road.
Audio captures first responders rushing to the apartment complex where the 36-year-old was found unresponsive Sunday.
CPR is in progress.
And there were a bunch of people in the halls, frantic, and I had heard something about a collapse.
On Monday, the coroner's office completed an autopsy saying the cause of death is still pending, but no signs of trauma were discovered that would have contributed to the death. And the Greenville Police Department says their preliminary investigation did not produce evidence of foul play or suspicious circumstance. Fans and neighbors gathering near the apartment where Hayden was staying, a growing memorial honoring the late actress. She grew up in front of the camera, appearing in Remember the Titans at just 10 years old.
Morning.
Where's your dad?
He's in his office.
And an ice princess alongside Michelle Trachtenberg, who passed away earlier this year.
It's your slot, Casey. If I drop out, you're ranked next.
Panettiere leaves behind her 11-year-old daughter, Kaya. Overnight, her ex-fiancé and the father of their child, Vladimir Klitschko, speaking out saying, "Nothing will erase the times we shared or the place she had in our lives. To our daughter Kaya, I will always speak of her mother with respect and make sure she remembers the person she was." In Panettiere's memoir released just months ago, she was open about her struggles with severe postpartum depression and addiction, talking to our Stephanie Ramos in May.
It just started kind of spilling out of me, these stories, naturally as I went through this, and I realized how many people needed to hear it.
Now an outpouring of tributes in Hollywood, her Scream 4 co-star Neve Campbell saying, "I found Hayden to be really kind and funny and brought a magnetic energy to set. She was a true talent, which shows in the decades she worked in such a short life." And Nashville co-star Connie Britton writing, "This was Hayden, bursting with brilliance, shining so bright. I have no words for this sad song, just heartbreak. I love you, girl. Sleep easy now."
And we also received a statement from Hayden's personal representative and her friend Casey, who said Hayden was the fiercest warrior I've ever known, and we are united in celebrating her incredible kindness, her strength, and the beautiful person she was. Guys.
She was truly loved and admired. Yeah. All right, Trevor, thank you. Coming up, the blood tests that could predict heart health issues. Dr. Narula will break it down.
Also had a landmark federal lawsuit against Meta, accused of getting children addicted to their apps.
And the Lindsay Clancy trial igniting a debate about postpartum mental health. Aaron Katersky's tracking that case. Hey, Aaron.
George, was this a meticulously planned murder by an unhappy mother or a killing that couldn't be helped because of severe psychosis? The latest on this trial coming up.
Coming up, why a New York judge has put Luigi Mangioni's murder case on hold.
And the new warning about stingrays crowding California beaches.
Plus, opening statements in the Tupac Shakur murder trial. What prosecutors say provoked the crime. We'll tell you about that and a whole lot more when we come back.
I've been taking risks my entire life. But last night, it was different.
Oh, back here on GMA, what a tease. Oh, he's such a tease. Michael B. Jordan, there in just one of his upcoming movies, The Thomas Crown Affair. A big 2027 ahead for the Oscar winner. We'll have more on Pop News on what he has planned.
Looking forward to that one. First new at 7:30. The New York judges put Luigi Mangioni's state murder case on hold indefinitely. Mangioni is accused of gunning down healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Manhattan 2 years ago. He was set to go on trial on September 8th in New York State Court. The judge's order comes as Mangioni's lawyers try to have state charges thrown out on double jeopardy grounds. Of course, he pled guilty in federal court. The head of U.S. Customs and Border Protection says the agency is temporarily pausing the construction of border barriers in Big Bend National Park in Texas. The project sparked bipartisan opposition over concerns it would damage the environment, spoil the area's natural beauty. The CBP Commissioner Rodney Scott says he'll visit the site and evaluate the project.
Police in Southern California dealing with a series of break-ins involving dozens of thieves turning stores inside out. This dramatic surveillance video shows dozens of thieves in Los Angeles ransacking a store. Police say at least 100 vehicles were blocking the roadway. And for the first time in 4 years, Venus and Serena Williams back together on the tennis court. The Williams sisters taking on Marta Kostyuk and American Peyton Stearns at the Cincinnati Open. In the first set, Kostyuk and Stearns easily won. But in the second set, the sisters came roaring back in vintage Williams style. And then you had the tiebreaker where Venus and Serena were also fighting back, but they ultimately fell short. Now, the big question is now, will we see them back together at the U.S. Open? What do you think?
You know, they're enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
They're having a good time. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Good to see him back. We're going to turn now to the trial sparking a national conversation about postpartum medical care. Lindsay Clancy has been charged with the murder of her 3 young children. The lawyers are making the case that she's not guilty because of postpartum psychosis. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katersky is tracking the case. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, George. This case really has struck a nerve. Prosecutors described a clear-eyed, meticulously planned scheme by an unhappy mother. The defense is now arguing her mental health condition was so severe it drove her to kill her kids.
It's the case that has ignited a national conversation about postpartum mental health.
People weighing in on TikTok.
So I can't stop obsessing about the amount of medication that she was on.
Lindsay Clancy is 100% guilty and should be criminally charged.
She was failed by the medical community and she was failed by her husband.
The mother of Lindsay Clancy, the Massachusetts woman on trial for killing her 3 children, took the stand in her daughter's defense.
I remember her saying, I just have to tell you guys something. And then she told us.
What did she tell you?
She told us that she had thoughts of harming the children.
Paula Musgrove testified her daughter grew anxious shortly before she was due to return to work as a labor and delivery nurse. She read this text from Clancy asking for help.
Mom, will you please come up and stay with me for a bit? I'm really sick. Something is wrong. It's just really scary, and I don't want to be alone.
Clancy has admitted she strangled 5-year-old Cora, 3-year-old Dawson, and 8-month-old Callan in January 2023, but has asserted an insanity defense, arguing a combination of psychiatric drugs prescribed after the birth of her 3rd child made her postpartum psychosis worse.
She said that she couldn't remember anything. The medication was pretty much just destroying her mind, and it wasn't her. She said, this isn't me. I just want to feel better and enjoy my kids again.
One of Clancy's former co-workers recalled telling her about Andrea Yates, the Texas mother who drowned her 5 children in 2001.
She cried, and she said, how could a mother hurt her children?
Prosecutors allege Clancy was unhappy with her life and planned to kill her children and herself. She's paralyzed now from the waist down after jumping from a window. Prosecutors rested their case after testimony from more than 70 witnesses that sometimes left Clancy in tears.
Bruising or abrasions. And what about injuries?
All right, Counsel, we're going to take a break this time, all right?
All right. During his testimony, Clancy's ex-husband, Patrick, recalled her saying she had thoughts of hurting the kids a month before the murders.
I asked her at some point, do you feel like you need to be kept away from them? And she said, no.
And then, it was very confusing because a minute later she was making them lunch or playing with them.
In the next few days, jurors will hear from dueling experts to help them determine whether Clancy was in the throes of such severe postpartum psychosis that when she strangled her children, she couldn't help it. Robin.
So many people watching this case. Okay. Aaron, thank you. Now to testimony getting underway in the trial over the killing of Tupac Shakur. Almost 30 years after the rapper was gunned down in Las Vegas, Alex Stone joins us with those details. Good morning to you, Alex.
Robin, good morning. Yeah, jurors are listening intently as prosecutors try to prove the only defendant still living 30 years later was involved in Tupac Shakur's murder.
Duane Davis made sure that the shooters were armed and ready to execute their revenge.
This morning, Las Vegas prosecutors are asking a jury to believe Duane Davis's own words. In interviews and even a book, he admitted to being involved in the 1996 murder of rap icon Tupac Shakur. But Davis's attorneys telling the jury his own words cannot be believed because what he claimed was not backed up by evidence, and that he only said he was involved in the murder to sell books and make money.
There's no facts to that matter.
One of the first witnesses telling the jury about the chaos that unfolded the night of the murder when she heard gunshots. Ingrid Stokes says she was afraid to talk to police because it was a gang-involved shooting.
Snitches get this.
Prosecutors allege Duane Davis did not pull the trigger, but that he's guilty of murder by ordering the hit on Shakur and providing the gun. They say he had been working security for Sean Diddy Combs' Bad Boy Records and was angry about his nephew, seen here in hotel surveillance video shown by prosecutors in court, being roughed up by a group including Shakur and Suge Knight of Death Row Records, the label that signed Shakur.
What you'll notice is a constant thing that always goes through these statements is Duane Davis's visceral anger at Tupac Shakur.
Now we talked about Suge Knight. He is a potential witness who could be called, but he has told ABC News he will not help either side win their case if he's made to testify that he's not going to help them. Guys.
All right, thank you for that. And now with the latest danger for beachgoers, as the summer winds down, stingray encounters are on the rise. Sam, you have the details.
Yeah, because they are, Michael. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. So we've been hearing a lot about sharks, and then there's those rip currents, but there's a brand new concern for ocean swimmers in this morning's headlines. This morning, large groups or fevers of stingrays are on the move from coast to coast. Southern California is seeing a significant increase in the number of beachgoers stung by the barbs found on the tails of stingrays. Jake Heyman was injured at Bolsa Chica Beach while trying to learn to surf during a vacation.
What at first I thought was like a sharp piece of glass or like a stick or something. Stabbed me pretty good. Checked out my foot and it was bleeding pretty good from the probably half-inch cut that I had gotten.
Bolsa Chica and Huntington State beaches reporting more than 3,100 incidents so far this year. That's twice the number reported for all of 2025.
We can absolutely see serious stingray stings. And so we could provide really warm water for patients to soak their foot in. And what that warm water does, what that heat does, is it denatures that protein-based venom and that decreases the pain.
This one's ready to go. I need another bucket.
In Orange County Seal Beach, researchers taking to the shores using nets to capture dozens of stingrays and clipping off those sharp barbs. That's safer for humans, but the barbs are the way stingrays defend themselves. Experts say there is a reason for this surge.
Round rays like to live close to shore, they essentially enjoy the same areas that our beachgoers enjoy. They generally like the water to be a little bit warmer. When the water warms, there's likely to be an influx of animals moving further north with that water. So there's a higher concentration, and that we think can be attributed to the strong El Nino.
So if you've grown up on a beach with stingrays, you know this, but here's the tips to avoid them. Lifeguards recommend doing what they call the stingray shuffle, and it really is just shuffling your feet as you walk into the sand instead of placing them down. That warns the stingrays because they're not after you, they're just defending themselves with the barb because you surprised them when you stepped on top of them. So shuffle your feet in there. Stay more in crowded areas because they tend to be waiting, and you can't see them because the sand is the same color as they are. So if there's a lot of people, stingrays tend to not be there.
The stingray shuffle?
Stingray shuffle.
All right.
Remember your parents?
Do you know it?
Yeah.
But you remember your parents are like, pick up your feet. Mom and Dad not on the beach.
Nope.
All right. Thank you, Sam.
Sure.
All right, now, back now with our play of the day. what one adrenaline-loving couple did before they said I do, Jen?
This one has us talking, and
Yeah, it
rightfully
really
so.
does.
What would you say if you were asked to jump out of a plane for a wedding? Well, Robin said she'd be on the ground saying, I'll wait for you. But Mike and Megan wanted to make certain that their wedding hit the highest heights. So here they are with their officiant, best man, maid of honor, bridesmaids, and groomsmen in upstate New York, skydiving into their wedding. That is making an entrance.
Yeah, that is.
The fearless pair actually met during a skydive, so it's appropriate when Mike was Megan's tandem instructor. Very cute. They later got engaged during a skydive, Megan yelling, yes, once her parachute opened, once they knew they were making it to the ground, and now they are both instructors at Skydive Seneca Lake, which makes a lot more sense. So how do you jump in a wedding dress? Well, Megan has a secret.
I did jump in a wedding dress that I thrifted and modified myself so that my leg straps could go under it, kind of like a wingsuit. I also jumped with a bouquet. He was in a suit from Men's Warehouse. It was like very theatrical. And once we landed, my former students held my parachute up and I did a quick change into an actual nice wedding dress.
Oh, so they thought of all of it, right? And now I can't imagine what it sounded like, though, because it's hard to talk up there.
Right, you can hear, right?
Yeah, because you did that.
Yes, and I'm glad I did it. I don't know that I'd do it again.
One and done.
Good for them.
In the video when he lets go of her hand, I didn't like that part. When they were holding hands and all of a sudden he like
But we wish the couple all the best.
Yes. Okay.
Coming up later, Risa Tisa here live. Millions followed her riveting story on social media about a relationship that turned out to be anything like she expected. Now she has a new book detailing everything that came after and how she is doing now. Yes, Risa Tisa here live.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Severe storms and flood threats. With record-breaking rain in the Midwest and Southeast. Downpours in West Virginia force schools to close, make roads impassable. This is 80 million under heat alerts. Ginger tracking it all.
She's the content creator who went viral in 2024 after sharing her stranger-than-fiction love story.
I'm going to tell the story of how I met, dated, married, and divorced a real pathological liar.
Now, Risa Tisa is here live, getting vulnerable in a new book about what happened after her rise to fame and what she wants others to know about getting honest online.
It's gonna be a good day.
It's gonna be a good morning. Find out what Michael has up his sleeve. No, not me. Michael B. Jordan. The details just ahead in Pop News.
That's what excites me.
As we say, good morning, America.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Tuesday. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. Gonna have much more on Michael B. Jordan just ahead in Pop News with our Sam Champion. I don't want to spoil what he's doing, but I'm excited about what he's got coming up.
Can't wait either. Also looking forward to talking with Dr. Narula about new research pointing to an already existing blood test that may be able to detect heart disease risk long before symptoms develop.
That could be a big advance. First look at the top stories breaking at 8. We start with extreme weather impacting several parts of the country. Ginger, of course, is tracking all. We got some flash floods in West Virginia.
Yes, unfortunately, rivers are still swollen, not just in West Virginia, but also Indiana. It's been an awful week. This is video from Carmel, where the roads and the highways, bridges have been taken out. Of course, we saw all of those deaths. And in Ripley, West Virginia, it was up to 9 inches of rain, filling backyards, covering roads, forcing water rescues. So this has been an issue. They're going to get more rain in Indiana on Wednesday night, but they have one dry day today to get ahead. Chicago, Kankakee, Davenport, Des Moines, Omaha, down to St. Louis. This is the area that's in a level 2 out of 4 for the potential of flash flooding today. Now, this area is different. This is about damaging wind, especially late tonight, closer to Kansas City, Salina, Topeka, and up to Kearney, Nebraska. So 2 areas that we're watching, but of course, watching Indiana and West Virginia closely too, guys.
All right, thank you so much, Ginger. We're going to turn now to the urgent search for a masked man after this chilling surveillance video of the suspect running after people in Philadelphia. Rhiannon Alley is back with the details. Good morning, Rhiannon.
Hey, guys. Yeah, this is scary. Imagine going for a walk or a run and you're followed by a man in a terrifying mask. It is not a scene from a horror movie. It's actually happening in Philadelphia. And police are sharing the scary video, hoping it helps find him. Take a look at this chilling surveillance video. Philly police say show a masked man who has been terrorizing people. Watch as a woman jogs just before sunrise. Seconds later, the suspect appears behind her, following her step by step as they disappear out of frame. The video then shows the woman suddenly turning and running the other way. She then glances back and the masked man is right behind her. Look how close he is. Police say the suspect even held up a cell phone, taunting the woman, asking her, "Are you ready to die?" There have been other reported victims, but all of the victims have gotten away unharmed. But police are now in an active manhunt for this suspect, who is now going to face multiple charges, including harassment and assault. Now, police believe that the suspect is between 16 and 20 years old. This video, obviously very disturbing, but police are releasing it, hoping that it helps identify this masked man so that they can bring these days of terror to an end for people.
Hopefully it will.
Yeah,
All
very
right.
scary.
Very. All right, Rhiannon, thank you. Now to the landmark trial. Instagram and Facebook's parent company, Meta, heads to federal court today in a case that could reshape social media. Kana Whitworth joins us with those details. Good morning, Kana.
Good morning, Robin. So opening statements begin today in this landmark case against the social media company. Several state attorneys general accused Meta of designing a dangerous product for young users. They claim Meta knew it was dangerous and lied about it. Along with Colorado, Kentucky, and New Jersey, California Attorney General Rob Bonta claims Facebook and Instagram were designed to keep kids on the platforms longer and longer, to the point of physical and mental harm, exploiting the most vulnerable to boost corporate profits. The lawsuit also claims Meta collected and used data of children under the age of 13. Now, Meta calls these claims unsubstantiated, adding in a statement that this is an attempt to penalize Meta for industry-wide challenges like age verification, adding, "We stand by our record of creating strong protections for teens and look forward to making our case in court." Meta also says damages could be $1.4 trillion. That's a demand that they call vastly disproportionate. Now, Meta has faced thousands of lawsuits over child and teen safety across its platforms and recently lost 2 of them, while also reporting a rare decline in profits last month. This trial is expected to last about 6 weeks. Guys.
A lot of eyes on this case. All right, Kana, thank you. Coming up on our GMA Morning Menu, Dr. Narula is here with a health alert and new research about a blood test that could be used to predict heart disease sooner.
Also ahead, the 1999 beloved movie 10 Things I Hate About You is heading to Broadway, and we got the scoop on who's adapting the script and writing the music.
And cookbook author Pierce Abernathy is here to show us some delicious ways to use all the fresh summer produce that's around right now, including a corn recipe. Sam's with Tori Johnson.
Can't wait for that one. And you're about to be more beautiful. Actually, we all are. Tori has deals and steals on GMA beauty favorites from Color Wow and Self Tanner. Who knows more about Self Tanner? This is genius.
Yes.
Than Peter Murgatroyd from Dancing with the Stars.
You got it.
Are you 50% off?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Right here on GMA. We'll be right back.
We are back now with our GMA cover story, a health alert about new research out this morning on a simple blood test that could one day help doctors identify risk of developing heart disease before symptoms first appear. Our chief medical correspondent, who is also a cardiologist, Dr. Tara Narula, got to break this one down for us.
Yes, Robin. So we're talking about BNP, brain natriuretic peptide. This is a hormone that is released by the heart when the heart is under stress. So when the heart sees volume or pressure overload, it releases this hormone to essentially dilate the blood vessels, make you urinate to remove salt and water, and lowers the blood pressure and reduces the heart stress or the heart strain. And we've used this as a lab test. You can check it in the blood, a simple lab test, for the last 20 years, mostly in heart failure patients, to help us diagnose heart failure or manage manage our heart failure patients. But we've learned that this hormone is also released when, for example, people have kidney failure or high blood pressure or irregular rapid heart rhythms or even extreme exertion. So anything that really puts that heart under strain. And so the other thing we've learned, Robin, is that it can also be used to predict future cardiovascular events and even death. So in this study, researchers looked at about 8,000 individuals who were older, average age of 78. They had no known cardiovascular disease. They measured this BNP hormone at the start of the study and then 3 years later, and then they followed them for 8 years to look for events and death. And they in fact found that in those individuals who had an elevation or a rise in BNP or sustained high levels, they were 6 to 7% at increased risk of cardiovascular events and dying. In addition, the individuals who lowered their BNP were at the same risk of those who had no heart stress. And so it really was helpful to follow that level in this patient population.
Yeah, who should be asking for this test since it already exists?
Yeah, so this is typically not a test. I mean, I'm a cardiologist that we routinely order on all of our patients. It is something that we tend to use in our heart failure patients to see how well we're managing them. And also if someone comes in with shortness of breath or heart failure symptoms, we might check it to exclude heart failure. So as of now, it's not really ready for prime time everyone to use, but certainly it is one more tool that might be available to us if research continues to really bear this out in terms of risk screening. So right now we use risk calculators, we use screening tests like calcium scores, Robin, we were just talking about, as opposed to the BNP.
So you get a test, you get a high score, what do you do?
So yes, if in fact you get a test that somebody orders and the BNP comes back high, in fact this happened with me, a patient was sent to me for this very reason, you would want to see a cardiologist to talk about why might my BNP be high. There can be several reasons, as I mentioned. You would want to talk to them about any heart failure symptoms, and then you'd really want to go through the things we know can reduce heart stress and strain: blood pressure control, cholesterol control, sugar control, exercise, weight, stopping smoking, all the traditional risk factors.
We don't talk about heart disease enough. We talk about other ailments, but we really don't talk about
leading cause of death for men and women.
Right?
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Doc. Thank you, as always, for all that information. We appreciate it. And we're going to switch gears now. As we mark 25 years since the September 11th attacks, we're going to talk about how sports, music, Broadway, and comedy brought comfort and healing to the nation in the wake of the tragedy. It's a new primetime special, 9/11, United We Stand, 25 years later, produced in part by my production company, Smack Productions. Take a look.
"9/11 is best characterized by profound loss. But I am curious what you gained from 9/11. How did 9/11 change you?"
The events of 9/11 were devastating for everybody.
The world changed after September 11th.
Early morning of the 12th, packed up some stuff, went down to Ground Zero, and just began working.
It gave me an appreciation for anonymous individuals performing daily functionality for the rest of us.
When this happened, I wasn't a coach anymore. I was just an American. And as an American, you wanted to do something.
You think, what can you do?
For all of us in sports, music, entertainment, we all realized that we could all collectively help the country heal.
We suddenly had like something, a little teeny thing we felt like we could do.
You have to make people smile again. Broadway showed up, our musicians showed up, our athletes showed up.
It's only something like baseball that can cure things sometimes.
You saw an explosion of emotion. Wow.
There's just something about sports.
The cheering of the crowd, especially when they introduced my brothers.
The moment that will last forever.
The concert for New York. It was 20,000 people there.
Billy Joel, Paul McCartney, John Bon Jovi,
David Bowie, Mick Jagger, and Keith Richards. Madison Square Garden was shaking.
There's no place like New York City.
This amazing city.
Extraordinary. Wow. Just got chills again thinking of it. So, it was glorious.
My goodness.
Yeah, I want to thank you both for being a part of that. And I tell you, I watch it. I bring you tissues. That's what I say. Have some handy because it's very emotional, but it's also healing in a lot of ways for a lot of people out there. So 9/11, United We Stand. 25 years later, it premieres Tuesday, September 1st on ABC and streams the next day on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus.
Well done.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can't wait for everybody to see it.
Brought this city together, brought this country together in a way I don't think anybody who was here will ever forget. Thank you, Michael. All right.
You got pop news for us.
Yeah, let's warm up for a little pop news. I'll dry my sweaty palms, and then how about you guys start with some jazz hands for Broadway news? Carly Rae Jepsen may have given us, thank you, everybody, the hit I Really Like You. Remember, also Call Me Maybe. But she's gearing up to create a list of 10 things she hates, because Carly is now part of the team that's bringing 10 Things I Hate About You to the Broadway stage. Now, she's writing the music. Emmy nominee Lena Dunham is writing the script around the beloved 1999 film Who Will Ever Forget Heath Ledger? Julia Stiles gave us that incredible musical performance from Heath. Just to watch him in action right there. Previews of the production will begin in exactly 1 year from now. Get ready. August 2027.
He was so talented.
Such amazing talent.
Such a good idea to bring this back.
And when he lit up with that song, you're just like, I didn't know he could sing like that. All right. Also, let's go old school, because Michael B. Jordan is taking us there for some old school movies. The Oscar-winning actor is directing and starring in an upcoming remake of The Thomas Crown Affair. Do you remember this movie? Did you know that Steve McQueen was in the first one? You knew it. George, you remember that? No. Steve McQueen did the first one. I remember Pierce Brosnan doing it, but I completely forgot it was Steve McQueen. All right, about a high-flying thrill seeker who attempts the ultimate art heist. This is the third remake of this movie, with iterations spanning from the 1960s to the 1990s, and recently Michael B. brought some old-school class to the famous Pebble Beach golf course, ladies and gentlemen, in California, teaming up with Ferrari to showcase the cars he drives all over the world in this film, which hits theaters next March. It is such a cool movie idea. Speaking, by the way, Michael B. Jordan also teaming up with Austin Butler to star in Miami Vice 85. We are really going old school. A film remake of the classic 80s TV series, and 2 more actors have joined the cast. Just to let you know, Whitney Peak and Alden Ehrenreich is also in it. Miami Vice 85 hits theaters in 2028, so you have time to get your cool ice cream colors ready. Production begins later this year.
Be here before you know. I know you would dress. You were dressing in the 80s.
Miami Vice this whole time.
I really wanted to be both of them. That was just my whole thing. All right. Also, every August, let's Doge. You don't know?
Yes,
Nothing?
Of course.
Yeah, because the cover of Vogue goes to the dogs every August, where dogs become the cover models, and we have the first glimpse of 3 of the celebrity Doge magazine covers launching this morning. First up is Bad Bunny's Beagle, ladies and gentlemen, Sansa. Also got Lena Dunham's terrier mix, Ingrid, and Millie Bobby Brown's with Winnie the Poodle. Winnie the Poodle is just a great dog name, by the way. But it's not just celebrities. Regular dogs from around the country also were nominated by their humans for the final cover shot, and the winner of the 2nd annual competition goes to Sir Spud, an Italian greyhound living in Kansas City. Clearly a perfect cover model. You can, you can read more on the pups on Vogue.com, not Doge.com.
I was hoping to see Stanley. Me too.
You have to nominate next year.
You didn't nominate, so you don't play, you can't win.
That's right.
Next year.
Next year always.
You know, inner beauty's great, but I'm all about outer beauty. Tori Johnson is here with Deals and Steals to help you put your best and most beautiful face forward without putting a dent in your wallet. Hi, Tori.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so color protection, frizz control, thicker, fuller looking hair. We've got a solution for you from Color Wow. All of their best-selling products. One of the newest bestsellers is this one right here.
Yeah.
It's called the Insta-Wow Dry Shampoo, and it's going to help remove up to about 95% of the excess oils, but without leaving a white cast. Like sometimes there's like powders that you put in for dry shampoo, and then it leaves a powder. This does not, and it makes hair just like shiny, brilliant, great color, looks fabulous. And then also, fan favorite, Dream Coat Supernatural.
Okay.
If there's humidity in your forecast, you need this for your hair. No frizz, just shiny, smooth, beautiful hair. That root cover up right in front, pretty fabulous. Your bestie between salons. on and
that.
color visits.
I might need that.
It's just everything here is a wow. No wonder they've won more than 125 beauty awards, and only we have it all at half price.
Half price, 50% off color.
Okay.
Wow. All right, what's up?
Callie Ray is back. This is one that I have been asked about for so long. We've got all of their best-selling products. This was created by the founder of Urban Decay.
Okay.
And we're talking about clean, fabulous formulas that move with you. Personal favorite, their under-eye concealer. And it does what all concealers do, which is cover the dark circles,
what you want.
everything that you want. But what it does that others often don't do is it doesn't crease. And so very often in that area where you have lines, you get creases. Not with their concealer. It's fabulous.
That's worth it.
Tubing mascara, it is clinically proven 24 hours of volume and lengthening. Also, I think you'd be approved, Sam approved, for these lip glosses that have SPF, because you're all about getting that protection in any way you can. Everything from Callie Ray, 50%
Your lips
off.
are not immune, so
exactly.
yes.
Plus free shipping on Callie Ray.
Great, good stuff.
All right,
this is genius, by the way.
Peta Jane, yeah. So Peta created this line of gradual tanners, self-tanners, so that you could get that gorgeous glow that she had in Dancing with the Stars without the harm of the sun. Something that everybody, even if you are not a dancer, can agree on. These are really beautiful because she's super proud that there's no orange or green, and which is often what happens with any kind of self-tanner.
You know, you see that person walk in the office and you're like, oh no.
They overdid it on the self-tanner. Not with this. The colors come out beautiful. The formulas also smell really good. So you look good, smell fabulous, and it's all 50% off.
She's a superstar. 50% off. Get that. That's genius.
Exactly. Okay, True Botanicals. We've got a bunch of their bestsellers. This is all about rejuvenating, replenishing, repairing skin. These two right here, two bestsellers. There's a face serum that is a huge bestseller, and then their Radiance Oil is really fabulous. It's packed with fatty acids because as we age, we lose a lot of those fatty acids. And so this is going to keep skin like plump and supple looking and really gorgeous. If it's a brand that you're not familiar with, we also have this 30-day, the kit right there, a 30-day skin rejuvenation transformation.
Oh, so you can try it out.
Yes, it's a fabulous kit, but all of this slashed in half.
Great gift, too. That's a great gift.
All right. The iconic drying lotion from Mario Badescu.
I know this brand.
This is my ultimate zit zapper. You pop a little Q-tip in there, and then you get that little pink goodness right on it. It dries blemishes overnight. That's a fan favorite. They have a lot of really great products for acne-prone skin. But then for all of us, when you need a little quickie depuffer in the under eye area.
It happens.
Yep. These little eye gels are really great. It's a good overnight quick fix. This is a line, efficacious, affordable. Every option slashed in half starts at $7.
Anytime you say efficacious,
I know when I bring out the big words.
All right, what's this?
Finally, makeup eraser. Erase everything with just water. These replace your disposables. People buy these all year round as stocking stuffers because they love all of the patterns. Today's a good day to get in on them because we have so many adorable patterns and sets, and they're all half price.
I love them, and I'm going to try this, Tori. I really am. All right, we partner with these products Tori has and these great companies so that you can get all of these deals. Just go to gmadeals.com. The code on the screen takes you right there. You can start shopping without even a pause. Coming back up, Risa Tisa is here.
Welcome back to GMA, live from New York City. Been looking forward to this. We're back now in GMA with our dear friend, Teresa Johnson. Yeah, you know her as Risa Tisa. She captured the attention of the internet after pulling back the curtain on her love story that turned out to be unlike anything she expected. She has a brand new book out this morning. It is called What Do I Do Now? Reclaiming Myself, one piece at a time. All about what happened after she shared her story with hundreds of millions on TikTok. We're going to talk to her live in just a moment, but first take a look. She's the content creator who went viral in 2024 after sharing her stranger-than-fiction story titled,
Who Did I Marry?
In her 50-part TikTok series, Teresa Johnson, now known as Risa Tisa, recapped a whirlwind pandemic romance that she says was filled with love, heartbreak, and alleged deception.
I'm going to tell the story of how I met, dated, married, and divorced. A real pathological liar.
Her story captivated the internet, garnering over 500 million views.
The question isn't what all did he lie about. The question definitely became, okay, what is actually true? What can you prove?
I spoke to Teresa about why she chose to tell her story.
Were you nervous at all about sharing?
Yes, I was nervous, but ultimately I decided if you're going to tell this story, tell the whole story. I also really truly believe the story will help somebody. It costs you nothing to verify, but it very well may cost you everything to not verify.
Now, she uses her platform to share how she's building the life she wants, all on her own.
It is still very much a journey of healing, self-reflection, and simply loving myself way more than to put myself through that or anything even like that ever again. Ever.
Had to wait for that second ever again. Please welcome Teresa Johnson, Risa Tisa, here to Good Morning America. It's good to have you back. Good to see you again. Just breathe. Just breathe. I love, you know what? You share so much, but then you get, like a lot of us, a little nervous.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy.
No.
It is not easy to be as vulnerable as you have been and as you are in your book. You are a storyteller. You are a storyteller at heart. And you say in part you want to share because you want others to feel that they're not alone?
Exactly. Because the thing is, when this story came out, I literally was going through that tunnel of feeling like, I am like the dumbest person on earth. And I did absolutely feel like I was the only one who's ever gone through this. And in sharing this story, it opened up the floodgates of people who were like, the same thing happened to me, same thing happened to someone I know. I just wasn't, I'm not ready to share my story, but I'm so glad I did because life literally changed overnight.
I know, and what was so beautiful is that people from all walks of life.
Yeah.
You thought there might be just one section of the country that would respond, or the world, but it was just universal in so many ways. So how is life now? How did it change?
Life is good.
Yeah?
Life is good. I still have kept some things the same, just to keep myself grounded, to keep myself focused. But here I am.
Because you got a 9 to 5.
I am still at work.
Okay.
I'm on vacation leave as we speak. But yes, I've kept my job. It's kept me grounded. My coworkers have kept me grounded, and I try to keep my circle small, just to always remember who I am, where I come from. Never feel like, oh, you're social media now and you're too big for the program. Never want to be
because
like
people
that.
have a perception of people after they've been, they have their 15 minutes and there's the talk of the town, and people think they know, but they don't know, do they?
Yeah, there's the thing that I describe it as, everyone wants to go viral until it's time to pay a viral tax, because there is such another side to it. Yes, it opens the door for opportunities and life can change. I'm no testimony to that. But man, you have to be ready for that criticism. You have to be ready for people having an opinion and never have met you. And so I have been very open with the fact that when this started, I had thin skin. And now that I'm releasing this book to the world, my skin's a bit thicker this time around.
Right, it has to be. And you talk about it. And you are a storyteller at heart. You have felt that way about yourself throughout your life. And when you tell your story, the reflections, Teresa, the reflections, what is the biggest lesson that you learned through what you went through that carries you today, that you move forward with?
The biggest lesson I have learned is that, as someone who grew up in the church, God can use whoever he wants. There was a time when I felt like, God, why did you have me go through this? Why? And now I'm understanding more and more. I'm living every day that Bible verse, all things work together. And so I no longer ask why as much as I'm asking him, protect me as you use me. You know what I mean? And so it's a testament that my mess is becoming a message, which someone said to me.
That's true.
And that's exactly what I'm walking out, and that's exactly what this book represents. It's not a woman who has figured it out. It's a woman who is trying and learning from the mistakes that I have made.
And you're very honest. Yeah. And there are a couple times in the book I was like, really, do you have to? But you even said that too, and you knew what the reader was thinking at the time, and you go, I know, but I'm human. I am who
I Am. Your family is all good, everybody?
They think this is amazing.
Right.
Now, my family, as of today, is reading the book in real time.
Okay.
So I just want to say hi, Mom. But yeah, they and my friends, I in the book, I mentioned in the acknowledgments, I said, you all literally carried me when I couldn't continue to go forward. Like you loved me when the world wanted to make me a hashtag.
And I love how you said, because you kept them at bay.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
And you talk about that. But the fact that you have that nucleus and letting them back in, and also you talk about self-worth, which we all deal with, and also your intuition. You abandoned her.
I know.
Is she back?
She is loud and proud.
Okay.
But yes, I absolutely ignored her, even when she had a bullhorn screaming at me. But I talk about in the book how she never left. Even when I was ignoring, you know, I describe the intuition as if she has her own personality, but she's always been there with me. She's always talked to me, whispered to me, let's make a left, let's not go that way. And so I'm proud that I'm listening more.
Yeah.
And embracing more.
I know, because it's not just about being seen, people want to be heard.
Yeah.
And even your intuition wants to be heard.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Well, there's so many lessons. There's so many lessons that you share with us. Glad that you are doing as well as you are, and just be you.
Yes,
be you.
ma'am.
All
On
right?
purpose.
On purpose.
On purpose.
And the book is available now.
We're already having a nice chat with Constance Zimmer. She just received an Emmy nomination for playing the mother of Carolyn Bessette in the FX series Love Story. Congratulations.
Thank you
Welcome.
very
It's great
much.
to see
Thank
you.
Thank you.
So you guys had a great run, 7 Emmy nominations. Now, is it true you didn't believe it when you were told you were nominated?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was very confused. I was definitely not like waiting by the phone either for someone to tell me. Like, I was on a work call, and then I saw that my publicist was calling on the other line, and I had seen that the show was nominated, and I was like, oh, she's probably calling to say congratulations on the show being nominated. And so when I clicked over from my work call, she was like, congratulations. And I said, yeah, I know, it's so great, the show's nominated. And she's like, no, you are nominated. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't see it in writing anywhere, so I don't believe you.
But what was it like playing this character? And was there anything in this role that changed you?
I think it all changed me. I mean, this is the first character that I think I've put the most of who I am and my life experience into, and I've never been given that opportunity before because I've never played a mother. You know, I've never been able to show so much grief and vulnerability and raw emotions. And so, yeah, I can't shake her. I feel the pain and the heartbreak. Every time I talk about it, it still makes me very weepy.
And you really communicated that in your portrayal. Let's take a look.
I just hope that when you are faced with it all, you don't choose to sit where you are expected or wanted, but where you are needed. That is something that I pray she can count on. Sorry.
So powerful. I didn't know a lot about Anne before the show, but you've heard from a lot of people who knew her. That's got to be moving.
Yeah, especially because they're former students, because she was an elementary teacher. So the former students comment on some of my posts saying, like, I can't believe how much you inhabited her strength and her wisdom and her kindness and her patience and how much you look like her, which is always even a bigger compliment, because, you know, it's always terrifying stepping into a real person's life, basically.
And let's talk about this Emmy nomination. And by saying it's not your first one, let's just say that. But are you a speech preparer? Do you have a dress picked out?
Right now it's between 2 dresses. I'm not exactly sure yet which one. And I don't. Listen. I just moved to New York last night. I have not prepared a speech for that. I'm like, I still can't believe I'm nominated. I'm still just like, wait, let me just live in this wonder for a little bit before I start setting myself up for
So you got
rejection.
your first look at early morning New York this morning.
Yes.
Coming in to see us.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming in. Congratulations
Yes.
on the nomination.
Thank
All
you.
episodes of FX Emmy-nominated Love Story, John F. Kennedy Jr. and Karen Bossette are streaming now on Hulu. And another Ryan Murphy show that's got people glued to TV is The Shards. That's also streaming now on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+. And when we come back, we're cooking with Pierce Abernathy.
Welcome to New York.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. Pierce and I agree. It is peak summer fruit and vegetable season. It's what we love. All this fresh stuff, and I know you love it too. Our next guest knows how to make the most out of them because Pierce Abernathy, Pierce, is a recipe developer and a food content creator. With more than 1 million followers, he's got his cookbook, Every Leaf, Every Stem, is out today. Pierce, we're so glad you're here, and it smells so good. So, butter and corn, come on.
Look, we all put butter on our corn.
Yes, we do.
So why don't we put corn in our butter? You know?
I didn't think about it, but I'm about to learn.
Look,
all right.
You know, there are a lot of these bowl techniques, these different things for moving corn off the cob.
Yeah.
Just keep it simple here.
Right.
Throw it into a saute pan.
This smells so good.
A little bit of butter.
And
there we
it's
go.
Golden brown, just
golden
like
brown.
that.
We don't need, you just want a little bit of color. It doesn't have to be in the pan for too long.
So it's a butter corn compound, and now I'm thinking all the things you can put that on.
Oh, absolutely. You can put it on, in pasta. You can put it on toast. You can freeze it and have fresh corn, through the year. Or if you're feeling crazy, corn butter on corn.
That's the first thing I was saying. Is that crazy? Because it's the first thought I had.
That's not crazy
some
at all.
corn is delicious and some corn doesn't have a lot of flavor. Now you're guaranteeing that it's done to have flavor.
Absolutely.
All right, so what do you do with it?
Okay. You put it in the blender here. You want to give it a blend?
Sure. I think I can do that. On.
So a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar. There's so much great natural sugar in the corn. We're just bringing that out a little more. There you go. You'll have your corn butter right here.
Oh, it looks like that.
Just like that.
And so come on.
I mean,
before I even get to this, look at the tomatoes. So we were talking about this in the break. That is summer season for the most beautiful, ugly tomatoes you ever want to have in your life.
Right now we are in peak tomato season. Peak tomato season. And we're also in peak corn season. It's all about what grows together goes together. And this recipe is that simply.
Genius, my friend. So what would you do? You'd use the corn butter and then slice some tomato on it.
Exactly.
On a beautiful toast.
Beautiful toast, a little bit of corn butter, a little bit of tomato. I'm all about keeping things simple, you know? There we go. Little one here, a little bit of flaky salt.
Oh, gorgeous.
And come on.
That to me, and my grandfather, I remember he used to eat them like apples. He'd take them right off the plant and eat them like apples. They're delicious.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right. This has got Michael wanting a slice. He did the drive-by and said he wants some of this. So tell me about the blueberry, is it galette?
It's a galette. So I love a galette.
You're right.
Very similar to a pie, but freeform. It's very easy, You
don't have the pressure of pie.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of ugly in a beautiful way.
Yeah, okay.
So simply just adding some sugar, some cornstarch.
Okay.
This spice here is sumac. So sumac is
I wouldn't have thought.
It's a Middle Eastern spice. It's a bit sour. It's tangy. It's almost like citrus zest.
Okay, and so you'd say that's your key in flavor?
For me, it's like just this little pop. It really makes everything pop.
All right.
A little bit of zest here, a little bit of salt. Salt's always great, and then a little bit of lemon juice.
Okay.
Now what we're gonna do is just simply mix this up. You wanna give it a mix?
I can do that too. I can turn on machines and mix. And Michael's watching me because he doesn't believe it.
When you said ugly in a beautiful way, I said, somebody call my name.
Come in, Michael, come in. You're always better in the kitchen. Come on in. All right, so now we just stir all this in.
Yeah, and then we're gonna put it right onto our crust here. Now, you can totally make this at home, but also store-bought is totally fine.
So what's the crust? What's the idea behind it?
The crust, it's a pie crust. You can use the exact same thing as a pie crust.
Awesome, so you can just buy one of them pre-made, roll it out, and you're done.
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay, do I just dump
this in?
Give me
pre-made, buddy.
Give me a couple spoonfuls here.
Okay, 2?
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, maybe 3.
Okay.
Everybody hold their breath.
Whenever I come near
Sam comes, everybody hold their breath.
You ready? And all we gotta do here is just keep it simple,
Fold their edges in. That's it?
That's it. That's it.
Oh, well, come on.
Come on. Look at that. Very simple. A little bit of egg wash here.
Okay, just because you want it to brown beautifully, right?
I mean, look at this. You don't get that sheen. You need a little bit of egg, and then I love this really thick sugar. Like a demerara sugar.
Yeah.
It doesn't melt when it's baking. Gives it a nice kind
so
of
it stays that and shines on the edge, too.
Exactly. And
You are good at this.
That's it.
You are good at this. All right, you come out with what Michael wanted. Michael, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Sam. This is your piece.
No, I'm going to eat the tomato thing. You go for that.
Oh, okay.
All right.
With the ice cream.
All right, so the book is out now, and you talk about getting people to eat more plants. And so other than just trying to shove more in your diet, what's a good way to try to get it done?
I mean, for me, it's I'm all about making the most of your produce haul, no matter where you shop. Whether it's a farmer's market, the grocery store, the bodega.
Yeah.
I find so much creative joy in making the most of my produce, and the unsung heroes, the carrot tops, the fennel tops, beet leaves, different things like that.
Use them all.
Use them all. And I think it's all about finding your creative joy in the kitchen, and I've found that in vegetables, and I want to get other people as excited as I am about it.
Man, you must have been cooking coming out of the womb. I mean, if vegetables have you looking so young, I need to start more vegetables. Wow.
And apparently people love you and trust you because you got so many fans. You can get all these recipes on GoodMorningAmerica.com, and Pierce's new cookbook is out right now. Every leaf, every stem.
I want to say happy birthday, Eddie!